From hidden fees before you even set foot on a plane to taxi scams and incorrect currency calculations, there's a lot to learn when it comes to protecting yourself and your wallet while on vacation. So here with her list of common travel pitfalls that could leave you vulnerable and how to avoid them, I am joined by travel journalist Oneika Raymond. Oneika, thank you for being here. This is stuff that everybody should really know.
I agree.
All right, so let's listen. We've got a few to get to, so let's make sure we hit them all. The first one, not knowing what you're paying for.
Oh my goodness. So it's important to be aware, and it is important to read the fine print always. There are a lot of hidden fees, as we well know. One of the common travel scams that you'll find is hotels adding an additional fee for staying on a higher floor. Or alternatively, for cruises, when one person in the cabin pays for an alcohol package, then de facto, all the other people in the cabin end up having this same fee attached. So what I always advise people to do is to read the fine print, know what you're getting into, and question if you need to.
And I think fundamentally, the important thing is you don't want the last day of your vacation. It's already going to suck because you're going home.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
totally.
want it to be even worse by having sticker shock and paying for things you didn't expect to have to pay
I agree. So be vigilant, check everything over, and do not be afraid to question or challenge.
All right, let's go to the next one. When popular tourist attractions are closed, what do you mean by that?
Oh my goodness. So this is the gag. So you arrive at the Eiffel Tower, for instance, and you have somebody out front telling you that it's closed, which is like never.
Yeah.
Never close, the Eiffel Tower. And then they say that they will take you to another tourist attraction that happens to be open. Do not do it, because what ends up happening is they divert you, they take you elsewhere, and then they charge you a hefty fee to get in. Sometimes they take you to a shop, and then they try to bully you into purchasing something there.
And so that leads us right into the next one, because in that interim, in that transit from one place to another, that's when you can find yourself in some other trouble.
Yes, absolutely.
Transportation scams.
Transportation scams. So one of the common scams that you will find is you get into a taxi and it has a meter, but the taxi driver will tell you that that meter is broken. And that leaves you really open and vulnerable to a surprise of sticker shock when you get to where you're going and they say that that $5 ride is actually $500. So one of the things that I think you should always do is either make sure that meter is on. If that driver refuses to turn it on, then you gots to go and go elsewhere. Or alternatively, agree on a price.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people, when they're in a foreign country where they don't necessarily speak the language, they don't understand the customs, they will defer, they'll take a step back and apologize, as we do as Canadians, and just accept whatever their fate is. But you're saying, you have rights while you're traveling, and you should treat yourself with the respect that you give yourself at home, probably.
Most definitely. I think it's important to be vocal. I mean, you can always be respectful, definitely be respectful, but know your rights and make sure that you're not being bullied or pressured into doing something that isn't correct.
But Canadians love getting a deal when we travel. But
we sure do.
Counterfeit goods for sale can be a problem.
Oh my goodness. So if I had $1 or a loonie, I should say, for every time somebody told me that they bought this work of art for $10 on the street somewhere, I would be a very rich woman. Look, here's the thing. If you find a deal that is too good to be true, it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Yeah. You are not going to find a Picasso on the street in Mexico City for $5. Yeah. So be well aware. I think that being informed is your best defense. So make sure you know what relative costs are and know what the range is for certain items that you'd be interested in purchasing.
But also, if you like the look of the painting, buy it for yourself. But buy it because you like it, not because you think that you've unearthed some treasure trove and you're going to make a mint when you get home.
Definitely, exactly, because you will be sorely disappointed and out of pocket.
In a lot of these bazaars and fairs where people can find those supposed finds, they're very crowded, and you say that makes us really vulnerable to theft.
It sure does. I think it's always important to be situationally aware, be aware of your surroundings. Oftentimes, when we get into crowds, we're distracted, and that leaves us really open to being pickpocketed. For example, I myself went to Egypt. I was pickpocketed in Egypt, and the scam there was I had two gentlemen approached me. One had a map and another one had coins in his hand. He was jingling them. And I was distracted. Yeah. And they were able to kind of jostle me and reach around.
What'd they take?
And they took my wallet. They took my wallet. So I was out $250. But luckily, I had travel insurance, which is something that I recommend for
I would
everyone.
think that someone who's named Oneika the Traveler would have travel insurance. This is a lot of great information. But before I let you go, this crowd, getting pickpocketed danger. A lot of men say, I'm not going to wear a fanny pack. What would you suggest they do in order to protect themselves?
I would suggest a money belt, something that is flat to the body. You can put it on under your pants, or you can put it on under your shirt. You have all of your identification with you. You have your money with you. You're literally holding it tight to the chest or to the belly. You know what? I'm a fan of fanny packs.
Well, I'd say unless you're The Rock, you can't pull it off. Oneika, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.